For the first time, I was shocked. It blew my mind. His great performance only became the hindrance of his promotion. I'll explain you that in my video ahead, but before that, leave this emoji if you have ever targeted a promotion and you got it, and this emoji if you targeted a promotion but never got it, whatever the reason may be. Let's expose the corporate culture and the reality of our jobs. I have structured this video in 5 chapters and I have included the timestamps as well. Somebody suggested in the comments that I should put timestamps in my videos. So help yourself. If you're not interested in any point, you can hop on to the next one. But I really encourage you that you watch it all so that you can understand the entire concept. Chapter number 1, as I said, performance is not equal to promotion. Promotions are not a reward for the hard work. Promotions are very much business decisions. You can be the top performer of your team, but you will be skipped for the promotion by the management because they promote basis need, timing, visibility, risk tolerance, and politics. I've seen brilliant employees being skipped for the promotions because their manager did not advocate for them in the meeting. The budget only allowed one promotion and somebody else in the team had a better connection with leadership. Or the worst case, that you are performing so good in your job that your manager cannot risk losing you in that particular role. Remember in the beginning I was talking about how the person's great performance became the hindrance for his own promotion. That happens when you perform so good in your current role that your manager becomes dependent, almost like cannot do it without you. In those cases, your great performance will become the roadblock to your own promotion. So in that case, you are literally being punished for being too reliable. Chapter number 2, what actually gets you promoted? Okay, so think of it as a formula. Promotion is equal to performance, perception, politics, and positioning. Performance, obviously you have to be good in what you do, you cannot do without it, but that's the bare minimum. It's not something that gets you to the promotion, and this is the most misunderstood thing across all organizations, across all industry, that employees, people think that great performance will bring them promotion, but good performance is the bare minimum, my friend. Good performance is the bare minimum. Second is perception. This means that how you are perceived by the management or the leadership. Now you can be a great employee in your own perception, or maybe in perception of your team, or maybe in perception of your manager, but how the leadership teams perceives you is very important. For example, say you're a great employee and your manager just loves your performance and trusts you a lot, but there happened an incident where you interacted with a senior person, somebody from the leadership or who influences such decision, and that person didn't have a very good experience talking to you, or basically the work that you did for that person didn't impress him much. So that will make a very different perception of yours in that person's mind. Though you have done like thousand gazillions of things great, but that one case, that one conversation will paint the entire picture in leadership's mind for you. So that is the power of perception. So it's very important that you are visible, which means that do people associate your name with some work, with some impact? Do people in your hierarchy know your name, what work you do, or are you silently doing great work in the background? Because if you're doing so, that is as good as not doing it. I mean, you'll be never considered for promotion. Let me be honest. If you're not visible, if you're not out there, you'll not get a seat. Because let me tell you the reality. I, as a HR, have seen average performers with excellent self-branding rise faster than star performers who do not advocate for themselves. Number 3, politics. Basically, who is advocating for you? That matters a lot. Because promotions are happening behind the doors where you are not present. So you literally need a sponsor, not just a manager. Somebody who can really fight for your name when it's the time, when there is only one position, when there is budget for only one promotion, and your manager plays it very weak, then you are not going to get that promotion. So you need a sponsor who can really fight for you. And yes, favoritism do happen, but I will say more than that, it's all about trust. Leadership promotes people who they trust, who they think they can trust. They promote them, and trust is built through relationships. So if you have a good rapport with your manager and your manager is a weak person who cannot advocate for himself or for his team, then it's very unlikely that you'll get promoted or anybody from your team will get promoted. So I'm telling you this because you can live your life with peace by knowing this beforehand, that you have a very weak manager who's not very vocal, does not advocate for anybody. And if you really want to be ahead in that game, then you need to self brand yourself. Take the steps that are required. You do the self branding yourselves. You interact with different leaders, different managers of other teams as well. You sit in cross functional teams. You do the work. You take the initiative before your manager gives it to somebody else. So take steps like that. So it's good to be aware that just a manager is not enough. You need a sponsor. And fourth is positioning. This one also is very important. Does your role have a path for promotion? Is there any possible hierarchy that you can climb? Because sometimes the structure just isn't there and you will keep hitting invisible walls thinking, what's wrong with me? I'm performing so good, but I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not getting promoted. That just because your particular role do not have a promotional path. In that case, you are just wasting your efforts if you are continuously trying to get promoted. In that case, you have to consider your options. I mean, either you negotiate good salary if you cannot get promoted in terms of both salary and title, and if that doesn't work out, then you have to consider your options outside. Chapter number 3, how managers actually decide. So let me give you this one example where I was present and the promotion of a particular employee was discussed. So let's call that employee Ravi, whose promotion was being discussed. So manager A says that Ravi is a great performer and has been exceeding expectations, so we can consider him for promotion this year. And then manager B says, yeah, that's true, he's good at what he does, but I'm not sure if he is ready to lead because I never saw him speaking in cross-functional meetings or ever saw him talking much in the meetings when senior leaders were present. And then a project manager on whose project Ravi was working says that if Ravi is getting promoted, then who is going to replace him in that project, because he has been doing phenomenal. And you know what was the final decision? Ravi didn't get promotion. Now you know the reason why. And to be honest, no one questioned his performance. Everybody was on the same page that he's solid, he exceeded expectation, he's working phenomenal. Nobody questioned his performance, but still he couldn't get a vote for promotion. And you know what's even worse? That Ravi was never made aware that these are the factors that were holding back his promotion. And he will never get to know in his life what was the factors why he didn't get promoted. And I'm sure he must have kept scratching his head thinking, what more these people want from me? I'm doing everything right, then why am I not getting promotion? So this example will help you understand how exactly managers decide on promotions. It's not always about performance. It's not even favoritism, because Ravi was favorite of the manager A, as I was discussing, but still he didn't get the majority vote for promotion, and you know the variety of reasons. So that's how promotions are decided, and very rarely it's the metrics. It's not the metrics. It's more about the influence you have, the perception you have in people's mind, and who want to see you succeed in the company. That all of that matters a lot. Now moving on to our chapter number 4, which is emotional fallout. For me, it's very important to highlight that if any of this has ever happened to you, then remember that you are not crazy, you are not lazy, you are not missing something. You start questioning your worth and then you overwork to compensate and then you burn out. Never do that, because the rules by which you are playing the games do not exist, and you will never be able to reach the level that you want by playing the game with those rules that you assume that are there in the policies, because promotions doesn't happen that way. Though the company has documentation for everything, how the promotions happens and what you need to do to rise to the next level, everything is there, but the promotions rarely happen that way. And if you keep sticking to that metrics and you are giving your 200%, you are just going to affect your health and nothing else. And by now I think we have seen numerous examples flashing in the news of social media that how this work stress impacts individuals. So do not do that mistake. So let me say this clearly again, that if you're not getting promoted, that is not the reflection of your talent and your capabilities. It is the reflection of the broken system that is being used in most of the organizations to recognize the talent. So now that you know that this game is not fair, it's strategic, this is what you need to do. Number one, build your internal visibility. Do not hide your achievements, or I should say, do not shy away from talking about your achievements, because a lot of introvert employees shy away from talking about their achievements because they think it's bragging. You really need to learn how to talk about your achievements without making them sound like you're bragging about yourself. I talked about it in my other video as well. This is such a game changer skill that if you learn this, you will never feel invisible again. You need to share your wins repeatedly. It's not like that if you spoke about your one win somewhere, then that counts. No, you have to do that repeatedly. You have to talk about your achievements in the reviews, in the leadership meetings, basically every place possible. Number two, ask strategic questions. Example, do not ask what more I need to do to get promoted. Instead, ask who else need to see my work so that I get a vote for promotion. What are the biggest business priorities this quarter or this year so that I can align with those to level up? Are there any upcoming roles for which I can be considered? So you see the difference? Your manager might not have a clear answer for your question that what I need to do to get promoted, but he or she will definitely have some considerable inputs for you for the question that I just told you, that who else need to see your work, or what are the biggest business priorities this year, or is there any role for which you can be considered. So number three, find a sponsor. As we discussed earlier, you do not need just a manager, you need a sponsor who will advocate for you. When there are 20 other managers talking about their team members' achievement, you need a sponsor who can really bring your value forward. So I would say that build relationships beyond your immediate boss. Number four, play the long game. By the long game, I mean that do not get stuck on the idea that you have to now get promoted to the next step in this company, in your own team. Do not get fixated on that idea, because the ultimate goal is to move forward in your career. The ultimate goal is to grow in your career. So that can come from moving laterally in your company, or that can come by moving external in some other company. You do not need anybody's permission to grow. If this thing is not working out, you find something else. Do not get fixated on one single idea that if this happens, then only I'll be grow. Keep your mind open for possibilities and focus on your bigger goal. That ultimate goal is to grow. If not here, somewhere else. If not in this team, then maybe in another team in the same company. And number five, to know when to walk away. If you have been passed over way too many times without any transparency, then it's not your fault. Now it's the time to find another place that values you more than this company. Now that you know what really drives a promotion, you can start claiming back your power and you can start playing that game on your own terms. And though I'm absolutely encouraging you to go ahead and play the game and be the winner, but I would like you to remember this, like I always say in my other videos as well, you are not defined by your job title. You are worthy of a happy and healthy life with the promotion or without the promotion. But if your heart is anyway clinged on to that promotion thingy, I will help you. I have designed a workbook that will shape your mindset for success by making you answer few very important questions that you might be ignoring right now. Link is in the description. You can download it from there. And with that, I have come to the end of this video, guys. And I really hope that this video resonated with you. And if so, please share your feedback in the comments. It encourages me to bring more content on this channel like this one. And with that, I'm signing off. You keep on watching more content on the Corporate Diaries, and I will see you in the next one. Till then, stay safe and healthy. Take care. Bye.